All right, so you got the hi-hat. This is the most important thing. Start with this. You take the cymbals off and put them in the bag, show bag. Okay, there's a crash, a ride, a crash, and 2 hi-hat cymbals. No big deal. They go into each other. You put it in the bag, you zip it up, no big deal. The only thing is don't drop it on its edges, because this is not as protective as the other one that I have. Okay. The hi-hat stand is the most important one because it's crazy. So this is it. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. When you're taking the cymbals off, the bottom one just sits right there. The top one's in this contraption here. It's locked on by tightening, and it's held on by this lug nut right here. It's very small. You just have to twist it just a little bit to loosen it. I don't want to lose that. Then this will turn. Right? And then you've got 2 felts, and the cymbal goes in there in between the felts. This goes back on and gets tightened by this so it doesn't fall off. The key will be in here. Can you show that? That's the case. All right, so now we're going to take this and loosen this and take this part off. This part bends, and this goes in here. This part, I put it back on and tighten it so that way it doesn't fall off. This, undo this just light until it releases the legs and it folds up. This, just loosen it, but don't loosen it too much because we don't want to lose it. Comes right out, folds up, goes in. Now, if you get that far, these stands are easy. You loosen this, it collapses. Put this in here, tighten it, or don't tighten it, but yeah, I'll tighten it, but snug. Goes in here. I got 2 stands, one for the crash, one for the ride. And putting the cymbals on, well, you won't have to, but taking it off, this one, well, you'll figure it out. Just put it back together after you take the cymbals off. You do the legs or whatever, and then tighten it up. Not a big deal. Legs. Legs, 3 legs on the floor, Tom. You loosen it up, you take the legs out, you throw it in the seat. This part just comes right out. The hardest part is closing the case with it in. This part, you don't even have to loosen anything. Boom, it's right there. This part, holding the tom-tom. This doesn't have to come off. It's a memory lock to tell me where the tom's supposed to be angle-wise and everything. There's another memory lock here, so all you do is loosen this thing. Can you see this? Loosen that, and that's it. Then, the pedal. This is the pedal. And I don't know if I even have to, since I'm going to have my stick bag with me, there's sticks in here too. I will have to bring my stick bag. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I might leave the stick bag at the other gig just in case. But that's the hardest thing to close the case with. In the bass drum, there's a sandbag, so it makes it lighter. Put it in here. There's a cover, just in case I need to cover something to make everything pretty. 2 quarters go underneath the pedal, so they'll be there. So what you have dangling are 2 quarters and a key. There's a drum key in there. The snare stand just comes right off. I have a pipe clamp on there, and it's just exactly where I want it. And when I'm doing rim clicks, it turns and makes me nervous. But that's okay, because I don't care. The legs fold up like usual. It's pretty funny because this thing does move, and it is irritating, but it's a cheap stand, and who cares? We can deal with it. The bass drum, these legs can stay in the drum. Just push them in and tighten them. But you have to tighten them, otherwise they'll move around. Or you can take them out if you want. And then this can go in here. Now, what I use it for is I put my drum this way in the car, and take the snare drum and place it on top, so when you're driving like a crazy maniac getting to this gig, it doesn't bounce around, it just stays right on there. And then we've got these 2 toms, and that's it. Now, this, if you can find a way to maneuver this thing somewhere, which you probably have more room than I usually have, because I usually put stick bag in there and it's too big, then you have to, it'll close. And the rug. I don't need a rug for Mavericks, so I'm going to use the rug at the thing. So don't forget the rug is ours, so we need that. And I've got creases already. It'll just roll up and then fold. Just roll it up and then fold it in half, and you're good to go.